Ambrosia for heads, Justin Hunt, this is Last 7. Counting down the top stories over the last 7 days. Up first, this one might be the coolest story of the year. In honor of hip-hop's 44th birthday, Google added the dopest doodle in Google history to its homepage, allowing you to be the DJ. The legendary Fab Five Freddy provides a bite-sized history lesson on the origins of the elements, b-boying, DJing, MCing, then also a tutorial on how to DJ the doodle. The doodle was designed by Say Adams, acclaimed graffiti artist and also founding creative director of Def Jam Records. Here's a clip.
On this historic anniversary, we're inviting you to join the celebration and be the DJ with 2 turntables and a crate full of hot records. Come on, y'all, let's get this party started.
44 years ago this week, DJ Kool Herc threw a party in the Bronx and decided he wanted to change up the sound. He played only the instrumental sections or breaks from full songs and had his friend Coke LaRock hype the crowd through the mic. 44 years later, the sound that Kool Herc created continues to change the world. Hip-hop remains a global, unifying force over the past 4 decades, bringing people together over breakbeats ever since. Unfortunately, the exact opposite of unity took place in Charlottesville, Virginia this weekend. Hundreds of people from all walks of life joined neo-Nazis, Ku Klux Klan members, white nationalists for a protest weekend called Unite the Right. The white nationalists were in Charlottesville to protest the city's plan to remove a statue of Robert E. Lee, who was a top general of the Confederacy. The marches devolved into all kinds of violence, peaking when 32-year-old Heather Heyer was killed by alleged Nazi sympathizer James Alex Fields. Fields is accused of plowing his car into a mob of counter-protesters. He's currently in custody and was denied bail. Now, President Trump's initial statement blamed the violence on many sides, rather than just the KKK members, neo-Nazis, Confederate sympathizers. He made a follow-up statement 2 days later, blaming the anti-American hate groups by name, then basically reneged on that during a press conference yesterday. He was actually speaking about an executive order on infrastructure, then things went all over the place. He reinforced his many-sides positions by creating an alt-left and then blaming them for charging at the neo-Nazis and Confederate sympathizers. Check this exchange.
But many of those people were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. So, this week it's Robert E. Lee. I noticed that Stonewall Jackson's coming down. I wonder, is it George Washington next week? And is it Thomas Jefferson the week after? You know, you really do have to ask yourself, where does it stop?
Well, here's one difference. Neither George Washington nor Thomas Jefferson were generals in a treasonous army. But that's besides the point. Donald Trump has proven he's willing to clap back against anyone. He claps back with the best, except for when it's about neo-Nazis, Confederate sympathizers, and Russia. Which country is he president of again? Blowback from Trump's lack of leadership in the wake of domestic terrorism has been palpable. Kenneth C. Frazier, he's the CEO of Merck Pharmaceuticals. He announced this week that he plans to step down from the President's Council on American Manufacturing. Here's what he said. America's leaders must honor our fundamental values by clearly rejecting expressions of hatred, bigotry, and group supremacy, which run counter to the American ideal that all people are created equal. Trump went king clap back on Frazier on Twitter because, of course he did. But hours later, the CEO of Under Armour, Kevin Plank, as well as the Intel CEO, Brian Krzanich, both of them stepped down from the President's Council on American Manufacturing as well. Of course, Trump king clap back responded again on Twitter because, of course he did. After that, though, Scott Paul, Alliance CEO, he stepped down as well. So did Richard Trumka, AFL-CIO CEO, he stepped down as well. Currently, 18 CEOs remain on the President's Council. We add the link in the description in case you want to take a look. But is this something that you think businesses should be active in addressing? Let us know in the comment section. I know how I feel. Over in the NFL, 2 football players, Beast Mode Marshawn Lynch and Michael Bennett of the Seattle Seahawks, they both sat during the national anthem this weekend. Coach Jack Rios says he doesn't expect Lynch sitting down during the national anthem to be a distraction, since Beast Mode's been sitting during the Star-Spangled Banner for the past 11 years. Michael Bennett, on the other hand, he said he sat during the national anthem in response to Charlottesville. Take a look.
Of course I'm going to face backlash. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than football. This is bigger than anything that we have any different. This is about people. This is about bringing opportunities to people, giving people equality. This is bigger than a sport. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really take your accolades with you, but what you can do is leave a legacy that you can continuously give kids the seeds to be able to inspire.
In 2016, Colin Kaepernick made headlines worldwide for protesting police brutality by taking a knee during the national anthem of NFL games. Now, whether you feel as though the repercussion he faces for his actions are justified or otherwise, is it safe to say that the genie is now out of the bottle? Can we expect to see NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem in perpetuity? Let us know. The sports world and the business community weren't the only sectors speaking out against white supremacy. People hit the streets. People hit the airwaves. Over in Durham, protesters destroyed a Confederate monument. Look at my man in the Wu-Tang shirt. Get it. There was also a major protest in NYC. Thousands of New Yorkers marched on Trump Tower. Listen to this. Speaking with MTV, Charlemagne the God explained that white people need to combat white supremacy as well. Jimmy Fallon. Now, Jimmy Fallon caught a ton of blowback last fall for rubbing Trump's hairpiece when he visited The Tonight Show, rather than holding the task for the racist rhetoric spewed throughout his campaign. He even gave a stirring monologue this week, echoing many of Charlemagne's sensibilities. Check it out.
The fact that it took the president 2 days to come out and clearly denounce racists and white supremacists is shameful. And I think he finally spoke out because people everywhere stood up and said something. It's important for everyone, especially white people in this country, to speak out against this. Ignoring it is just as bad as supporting it.
Well said, Fallon. Well said. Here's the thing. With as much division as we've seen over the past 7 days, it remains critical that we remember that we're more alike than dissimilar, that we have more in common than not. Hip-hop was founded 44 years ago again this week, and although the genre is inherently competitive, its ability to bring people together remains undefeated. Few images captured that better this week than Logic and Joey Badass freestyling on a tour bus. Take a look.
I'm about to break up in this shit one time. I got to murder the rhyme, cause this shit is so divine. Can you feel this vibe? I am alive, and this is how I'm feeling hella good. Rolling through my hood, smoking on that backwood.
We are alive, it's the best feeling. I can't describe, it's just the way I'm willing and I'm dealing. And you see it, man, I got it through the roof, it's through the ceiling. It's one hell of a feeling. For your teeth, it's like a feeling, and I'm feeling.
Man, true fellowship. True freestyle fellowship. Relax and take note. For Ambrosia for Heads, I'm Justin Hunt. This is Last 7, counting down the top stories of the last 7 days. See you next week.